At the rise of the curtain, we see an old-fashioned tenement apartment. We can also see the narrow alleyways which surround the apartment. Tom Wingfield, the narrator, enters and addresses the audience. Tom explains that the play is a memory play and that he is one of the characters in the play. The other characters are his mother Amanda, his sister Laura, and a gentleman caller. There is another character who never appears. This is his father who deserted the family some long years ago. He was a telephone man who fell in love with long distances. As the action begins, Amanda is instructing Tom about how to eat every bite of his food until Tom yells at her that he can't enjoy a bite of his food because of her constant nagging. Amanda then tells Laura to stay fresh and pretty for the gentleman callers. Laura tells her she isn't expecting any, and Amanda tells how one Sunday afternoon in Blue Mountain, Mississippi, she had 17 gentleman callers all in one afternoon. Tom and Laura have heard this story many times but listen patiently to it again. Amanda then sends Laura into the living room to practice her shorthand or typing and to stay pretty for the gentleman callers in spite of Laura's reassertion that there will be none.
Laura is sitting alone playing with her glass collection. When she hears Amanda ascending the stairs, she immediately hides the collection and sits before the typing chart pretending to study it. Amanda comes in and theatrically drops her gloves on the floor. When Laura asks her what is wrong, Amanda accuses her of deception. Amanda tells Laura that she was by the business school in order to inquire about Laura's progress. It was then that she found out that Laura had not been attending school. Amanda is depressed about losing the $50 tuition and about Laura's future. Laura explains that on the day she was supposed to take her first sped test in typing, she became sick and threw up on the floor. Since then, she has been pretending to go to school. But instead, she had been going to the museums and to the bird houses in the zoo and to a big glass house where they raise the tropical flowers. Amanda wonders what will then happen to a girl who can't work, who has no gentleman callers. She then wonders if Laura has ever liked a boy. Laura tells about a boy in high school named Jem, with whom she was infatuated. He used to call her Blue Roses because she had blue roses, which he thought sounded like blue roses. Amanda then decides that Laura must get married. Laura protests that she is a cripple, but Amanda refuses to allow Laura to use that word and insists that all Laura needs to do is to develop charm.
Tom explains how his mother, when she had decided that a gentleman caller was necessary, set all her energy to preparing for one. She began a campaign on the telephone to recruit subscribers for a popular women's magazine. When the scene opens, Tom and his mother are arguing about a book by D.H. Lawrence that she took back to the library because she refuses to have such a hideous book in her house. Tom reminds her that he pays the rent on the house. Tom then prepares to leave to go to the movies. Amanda screams at him that he can stay out late at night and still do a good day's work. Tom reminds her how much he hates his job at the warehouse. When Amanda accuses Tom of doing something he is ashamed of every night and accuses him of lying about going every night to the movies, Tom becomes infuriated and tells the mother a fantastic tale and ends by calling her an ugly babbling witch. Tom tries to get his coat on, and in his rapid struggle to leave, he throws his coat against the wall and shatters some of Laura's glass menagerie.
Tom is just returning from the movies. He explained to Laura, who is awake, that the movies was very long, and there was a magician who could perform tricks such as escaping from a coffin, which had been held as shut. The scene fades out that comes in again with Amanda calling for Tom to raise the stone. Laura asked Tom to apologize to Amanda for their argument. To the preceding evening, Amanda sends Laura to the store for butter that deals her charge if even enough. Laura has qualms about charging anything else. As Laura leaves, she strips on the fire, escapes to rushes to help her. After she is gone, Tom slowly and reluctantly apologizes to Amanda. Amanda tells Tom that he must be plans for Laura. She has been seen the letter that Tom has received from the merchant marine and knows that he is planning to leave him. But she tells Tom that he must first to see it that Laura is provided for, because Laura can spend his life playing old photographs, records, and falling with those pieces of glasses. Amanda then asks Tom to see if he can find a young man at a warehouse and bring him home for dinner in order to meet Laura. Tom promises to try and to find someone, and immediately Amanda renews her campaign to get more subscribers for her magazine.